Ever get chills listening to a piece of music so powerful, so full of emotion, that it feels like it's woven from something more than just notes?
I know that feeling. It's like the music itself holds centuries of stories, of whispered secrets.
That's exactly the kind of magic we're diving into today.
Yeah.
The enchanting world of Stradivarius cellos.
Ah, the Strads. A perfect topic for a deep dive, really. We're talking about instruments crafted in the late 1600s, early 1700s that still outshine many modern instruments.
And if those million-dollar price tags at auctions are anything to go by, they're clearly something special.
Millions. Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these instruments.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. So who is this Stradivari guy? Did he have some secret formula hidden away in his workshop? Some lost art?
Well, let's just say Antonio Stradivari wasn't just any old craftsman. He was like the rock star luthier of his time.
Rock star luthier, I like that. So we're talking about serious craftsmanship here.
Imagine 17th century Cremona, Italy, a place practically bursting at the seams with violin makers.
A little competitive, maybe?
You could say that. But Stradivari, he wasn't content with just churning out instruments. He was meticulous, obsessed with detail. I mean, there are stories of him rejecting entire batches of wood because the grain wasn't perfectly aligned.
Whoa, talk about a perfectionist. Makes my little organizational quirks seem pretty tame. So tell me, what was so special about this wood? It couldn't have been just any lumberyard find, right?
You're right about that. Stradivari primarily used spruce for the top and maple for the back and sides. Good quality stuff. But here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine trees growing during a time called the Little Ice Age.
Wait, a mini ice age? Right here on Earth?
It's true. From the 16th to the 19th centuries, Europe experienced this period of cooler temperatures.
Okay, that's pretty fascinating in itself, but how does it tie into these exceptional instruments?
Well, those colder, harsher conditions forced trees to grow slower, resulting in denser wood with tighter growth rings.
So it's like the wood itself holds a story of resilience, which then translates into a richer sound.
Now you're getting it. That's a theory many experts believe. This denser wood, they argue, created superior resonance and tonal quality, meaning the sound waves vibrate within the instrument's body like an echo chamber, amplifying the music.
And to think, even with all of today's technology, replicating that specific wood is a real challenge.
It really is. It's like trying to recreate a vintage wine. You can try to replicate the environment, the process, but there's something unique to that time period that just can't be fully replicated.
It really makes you appreciate the craftsmanship, the history baked right into these instruments. Okay, let's unpack this resonance thing a bit more. What makes it so special, especially in a Stradivarius cello? So we're talking about something that goes beyond just, like, volume.
Exactly. Imagine yourself in a concert hall, right?
Right.
And a single note from a cello just rises up, fills the entire space.
Okay, yeah, I can picture that.
It lingers in the air long after the musician has stopped playing. That's resonance. And it's especially pronounced in a Strad.
It's like the sound itself has a presence, almost like you can reach out and touch it.
You've got it. And this is where Stradivari's craftsmanship, his deep understanding, comes into play. It wasn't just about the wood, but how he used it to shape the sound. Take the fell holes, for example.
Those elegant curves on either side of the strings.
Those are the ones that, most people don't realize they're more than just a pretty design.
Oh, I bet they're crucial to how the whole thing works, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Stradivari meticulously shaped these F-holes, not just for aesthetics, but because their size, their shape, their placement, it's all crucial to the cello's voice. Think of them as carefully positioned vents that control the way sound waves escape the instrument's body.
So it's like he fine-tuned the airflow within the cello to create a specific kind of sound, like a perfectly engineered exhaust system.
A very elegant exhaust system. And then there's the bridge.
That little piece that supports the strings.
That's the one. Stradivari seemed to have this intuitive understanding of how its height, its curvature, even the tiniest adjustments impacted the cello's voice.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it. Someone working centuries ago, figuring out these incredibly subtle but crucial details.
It speaks to a different level of dedication to the craft, doesn't it? He seemed to understand the physics of sound, even without all the fancy tools and technology we have today.
Talk about ahead of his time. But hold on, we can't forget about the mysterious varnish. Was it really some secret recipe passed down through generations of Italian artisans?
Ah, the varnish. It's the stuff of legends, We know Stradivari used a combination of oil, resin, and pigment, but the exact formula, lost to time, vanished, you might say.
I see what you did there.
Well, some experts believe it enhanced the wood's vibration, allowed the sound to flow more freely, but it's hard to say for certain.
So it's like the varnish unlocked a hidden language within the wood itself.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And, even with all the technology we have today, modern luthiers have tried to recreate it, analyze it, but that elusive Stradivarius sound remains just out of reach.
It's like trying to recreate a masterpiece painting. You can analyze the brushstrokes, the pigments, but there's something about the artist's touch, that intangible quality that can't be replicated.
You hit the nail on the head. And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of Stradivarius cellos. They seem to defy time. In fact, some say they sound even better as they age.
Wait, really? It's like that idea of fine wines getting better with age, but with an instrument? How does that even work? So it's like, those fine wines, getting better with age. But we're talking about a cello. How does that even work?
It really is remarkable when you think about it. Imagine, centuries of vibrations, all that music being drawn out of the instrument. Those sound waves, they course through the wood, and it's almost like they're massaging it. At a microscopic level, of course.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
And over time, all those tiny vibrations, they can actually change the wood. It becomes more resonant, more responsive.
So it's like the cello's personality deepens with every note played, every story it helps tell. No wonder people consider them priceless. But I'm curious about the human element here. Do you think a Stradivarius can turn anyone into a virtuoso? Or does it take a special kind of musician to really unlock its potential?
No, that's the age-old question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like giving someone a world-class race car. Just having it doesn't automatically make you a champion driver, right? You need the skill, the sensitivity to really harness its power.
So it's more like a Stradivarius might amplify a musician's existing talent, but can't create talent where there is none.
Precisely. In the hands of a true maestro, a Stradivarius can produce sounds that are just breathtaking.
Yeah.
The kind that send shivers down your spine. Capable of expressing the subtlest emotions, things words just can't capture.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is. But what's interesting? Even in the hands of a less experienced player, someone who's still learning, you can still sense it.
Sense what?
That there's something special there. A certain richness, a depth of tone, that's really hard to describe.
Like hearing the potential, even if it's not fully realized yet.
Exactly. Like a diamond in the rough. It makes you wonder, what was going through Stradivarius' mind as he crafted these instruments? Did he have any idea of the impact they would have centuries later? Did he ever imagine that?
It's humbling when you think about it.
It really is. To think of him in his workshop, meticulously shaping wood and varnish, probably never imagining that his creations would one day be in museums.
Displayed like the works of art they are.
Exactly. Played by world-renowned musicians. Talked about on podcasts centuries later.
Talk about a legacy. But speaking of legacy, there's this debate, right? That the pursuit of this Stradivarius sound, this mythical perfection, is it actually holding back innovation in instrument making?
That's a really interesting thought. I mean, it's true that some see it as an impossible standard, like chasing a ghost that you can never quite catch.
So how do you reconcile these two things? The incredible legacy, but also the need to keep moving forward?
I think the real magic, if you will, of Stradivari is that he inspires generations of craftspeople to strive for excellence.
So it's less about replicating his exact recipe and more about embracing that same spirit of innovation.
Exactly. Just look at how far instrument making has come. We have these incredible modern cellos being created today, pushing boundaries with new materials, new techniques, exploring sonic landscapes that Stradivari probably couldn't even have dreamed of.
It's like he gave us the foundation, and now it's up to future generations to build upon it.
A really good way to put it. It's about that relentless pursuit of craftsmanship, the dedication to refining one's art, to bring something truly special into the world.
And that's something worth celebrating no matter what you're passionate about, whether it's music or woodworking or even podcasting.
Hear, hear.
We've covered so much in this deep dive, from a mini ice age to secret varnish recipes. It's been quite a journey.
It has. And, for me, what really stands out is that sense of wonder. It's inspiring. The idea that we as humans, we can create something so deeply resonant, so powerful, something capable of moving us, even centuries later.
Beautifully said. A perfect note to end on. So to everyone listening, if you ever get the chance to hear a Stradivarius cello played live, really listen. Close your eyes, let yourself be transported to another time and place. It's an experience you won't soon forget. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never lose that sense of wonder.